Welcome to Florida Newsmakers. I'm Trimmel Gomes with our very special guest, Senator Garrett Richter, Senate President Pro Tem and Chair of the Gaming Committee. Welcome to the program. Immediately out of the gate, it was down to business with a swift crackdown on sexual predators. What will be some of the big themes coming out of this year's session?
As President Gates said in his opening remarks, we've got work in front of us. So we went to work right away as part of the work plan that both the President and the Speaker have defined for this session. The first item on that work plan was to protect Florida's vulnerable citizens. It's the young and the elderly and the disabled. And so we went right to work. We had a series of bills that strengthened and lengthened penalties for sexual predators to keep them off the streets and to keep our streets safe in the state of Florida. So we've passed those bills and sent them over to the House and expect the House to take them up next week and send those good bills to the governor.
What do you think will be the overarching theme of this year's session?
Well, I think the overarching theme will be both the House and the Senate going ahead and advancing that work plan that I just referred to, which is not only protecting the vulnerable in the state of Florida, but establishing Florida as the most welcoming state for our military veterans, the men and women that are returning home, taking Florida's arms and opening up to those veterans so that they can continue to strive and make gains in their life with educational opportunities, upgrading the armories, providing scholarships for those veterans. That Florida GI package will be taken up actually this afternoon. It'll be going through the Appropriations Committee, ready to get it advanced on the floor next week for Military Day, Military Appreciation Day. We'll also go forward with the tax cuts that the governor has described as one of his priorities and has been embraced by both the House and the Senate. We're still trying to determine in what specific areas those tax cuts will fall, but I'm confident at the end of the session that we will have been able to successfully and properly fund Florida's priorities and at the same time put some dollars back in Floridians' pockets.
Senator, you've identified overhauling Florida's gaming industry as a top priority. Why is this important?
When the President asked me over a year ago if I would be his pro tem, I was tremendously complimented, extremely complimented that the President would express that type of confidence in me, and I accepted that generous offer of that position, and it wasn't about 20 minutes later he said, "Oh, I have something else I need you to do." And I said, "What is that, Mr. President?" He said, "Well, I'd like you to chair the Senate Gaming Committee." And it wasn't one of those committee selections that I was jumping up and down saying, "Oh, pick me, Mr. President." Both of those decisions came as a surprise to me. I didn't anticipate the compliment of being asked to be the pro tem, though I'm certainly glad and honored by it, nor did I anticipate moving my committee chairship from the banking and insurance, which was kind of in my wheelhouse, if you will, having been a banker for 45 years, to the gaming. But as I got into the subject and researched it and got more understanding of it, I learned that we've got a compact, some components of the compact that need to be renegotiated. So what better time to take a look and address this patchwork of regulations that have developed and expanded over the years with inconsistencies and inaccuracies. So we took the time to be very deliberate, to spend a good portion of the committee's time and efforts on fact-finding, on getting an independent report from Spectrum, which we've described, on traveling around the state, getting feedback from Floridians, and restructuring the statutes so that they come into some semblance and have order.
All right. Well, Senator, as we close out, what are some of your other top priorities that you're monitoring and hoping to see passage on this session?
Well, one of the bills that I've sponsored, and I think you and I had some earlier discussion on tort reform. I think it's important in the state of Florida that we continue to be vigilant and pursue responsible policy relative to tort. We want Florida to be known as a haven for opportunity, opportunity for jobs, opportunity for employers to expand their businesses, not a haven for opportunities for lawsuits and major, big, huge, ridiculous settlement lawsuits. I've advanced various tort reform legislation in years past. I've sponsored a bill on truth and damages. If a procedure actually costs $4,000, there shouldn't be a bill out there that suggests that it might have cost $104,000.
Yeah. Well, Senator Garrett Richter, thank you so much for your time. And to our viewers, we'll catch you next time.